What's good, everyone, and long time no see. Xrannos here, and I decided I'd try to maybe do a video every once in a while, maybe on a game here and there. Recently, I've been a little bit obsessed with Phasmophobia. Now, a very quick summary of this game is it's more or less you play a ghost hunter, you can throw basketballs in a hoop in the lobby. But anyway, I get distracted so easily, I swear. But anyway, yeah, more or less you play a ghost hunter. You go to different contracts that you get throughout the world, quote unquote world, but more or less just different maps. And you gather evidence on the ghost to figure out what type it is and get the hell out before the ghost hunts you down and kills you. Now, since this is going to be my first Phasmophobia video, and honestly first video in quite a while, I'll do a little quick kind of rundown or like mini tutorial per se. I am doing a solo. I'm professional, which is currently the hardest difficulty that is in the game, and also I am in... Oh wait, what am I doing? Join, create. Anyway, I am also doing a solo as well. This game you can play with 4 people, just so you know as a heads up. And of course, since it's a ghost hunt game, it is a horror game. I am at decently high level, so I've been playing a fair amount. So first things first, let's see what map we can find. Prison's currently the newest map. Came out on the beta, but it's intermediate, so I don't want it. Oh, Bleasdale. Bleasdale is a cursed map. God, how do I describe Bleasdale? Oof. Well, I'm not even gonna tell you, you'll just see it for yourselves. But I'm just adding some items right now. I'll explain some of that in a quick moment once I finish adding a few items for fun. Do that, some salt, smudgies, tripod, strong, motion sense. Okay, so more or less, whenever you do your contracts, you'll earn money based on performance and difficulty and map size. So, of course, small maps pay the least, while the large map, which there's only one large map at the moment, it's the Asylum map, and they pay the most. And more or less you use your money. It's kind of like experience almost in a way, but there is actual experience, but it doesn't really mean anything, because once you hit level 15 in this game, you basically have everything unlocked, so level doesn't mean much yet, but it's also still early access. But anyway, you can just go to the buy option once you accumulate some money, and go down and buy pretty much a bunch of random items that will help you with your, ghost detection, and just finding info on the ghosts, or just ways to earn money in other secondary ways. Things like that. Some of these items right now, I can tell you right now, are completely and utterly useless. Like I said, mini tutorial, not gonna go super hard with this, but let's go. Let's jump right in. Now, I've probably dumped so far, I'm guessing probably 70 plus hours in this game. And I've learned a lot of fun little neat tricks, ways to, survive hunts, not die, and to discover like different types of ghosts based on just their behavior alone. Which is kind of nice. Like, it's still nice to have the equipment to, guaranteely know what the ghost is. But learning behaviors and secondary traits to kind of help you slowly pinpoint the ghosts, it's really gratifying when you start playing this game a good amount. Very gratifying. Unfortunately, some of the load times aren't exactly the best, but also, depends on the map too. Asylum has the longest load times. Alright, so now we are starting at Bleasdale. Now, this game also has voice recognition, where the ghost can more or less hear you just at almost all points once you're in the house, or whatever location you're in. So, I'm going to take a thermometer. This thing is currently one of the most busted items in the game, because it lets you basically almost guaranteedly figure out where the room is that the ghost is in. Because that's another fun thing, is this game is a lot of RNG. A lot of RNG. And you'll just pretty much ghosts get spawned in different places.
I've left it on the desk for you.
Thank you, announcer. They will have different they could sometimes wander around a bit, but the thermometer just lets you pinpoint the room. Alright, so, objectives. The main objective of the first one is the main goal of the game. Now, objective 2, 3, and 4 are all optional, but they'll give you bonus money if you can complete them. So, find evidence of paranormal EMF reader, which, I'll show you the items in a moment. Detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor. I did bring one. I intended to bring one in case I get that objective, because you can get objectives, and if you didn't bring the item, you obviously can't do it. And prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. That's a bit of an annoying one. Also, they have names. You can use their names in your house, and it tends to piss them off. And they also have respond to everyone. There's also respond to a lone ghost. In solo, it doesn't matter, but obviously in multiplayer, it will make a difference. That's the only things you really need to know is the name, and does it respond to everyone. Now, you can hold 3 items in your inventory, switch it out and about. I tend to take the book, the ghost writing book, which is like one of the evidence pieces, because it seems to sometimes take a little time to get once you find the room. But all the items I have, I'll very, very quickly explain. Sanity pills, basically, when you're in a house in dark and different ghosts can basically drain your sanity, lower your sanity, higher chance a ghost has to a chance to start hunting you. And during a hunt, you cannot leave the house, and you have to survive the hunting phase. If it finds and catches you, you're dead. Just there's no life bar. You're just instantly dead, and you lose all the items that you manually brought. But there's also starter items that are brought in every mission, no matter what. The thermometer is not one of them. Spirit box. Use that basically. You could ask the ghost different questions. If it talks, that is a piece of evidence if they use the spirit box. Crucifix, it's kind of like a landmine. That's the very quick summary of it. You throw them on the ground, and if a hunt starts and a ghost would have been at that spot or spawned in that position where a crucifix is, it won't spawn at all. The hunt will skip completely, and you prevent a hunt. EMF meter, whenever the ghost does like little things around, move an item or some type of activity, it'll start going off if you're near it, and depending on the EMF meter, depends if it's an EMF ghost. EMF 5 is the only one you honestly care about. Anything else is just, it did something here. Smudge sticks, gotta use those with a lighter. If you get near the ghost when you light one of these, it'll prevent the ghost from being able to hunt for a short amount of time. Photo camera, you can take photos of just interactions, the ghost itself, things like that for extra money. Candles, you can light it as a light source. Honestly, it's not that great, but I like bringing one for fun because you can throw them on the ground for a small light source in an area, but they can go out. Salt, some ghosts, well, one ghost I can recall doesn't like salt. You can use it also to track their footprints or where they've been, or even use it as marker. Motion sensor, kind of self-explanatory. You put it on the wall. If the ghost or some movement, either a player or the ghost moves on it, it'll ding and bah. Bada bing, bada boom, ghost. That was a horrible description. Either way, it just, detects the ghost. And you can also see the motion sensor on the map, which there is a map. If there's multiple floors, you can hit this button to see the different floors. You can also, in multiplayer, see where other people are at, if they are currently in the house. And all the little green parts here are like different entrances. This map does have more than one, but there's one main entrance, which I know is that one right there. Video camera, you use that to pretty much set up, usually in the ghost room or near the ghost room, to try to find spirit orbs. If you find a spirit orb, that is also another evidence piece. I'll also show the little book for doing evidence. Now, you got normal flashlight. I brought in a strong flashlight, which you actually have to manually bring in. They're just significantly better, and you can also use your flashlight while you have another item on with a hotkey. I keybind mine to a different one, like the original key is T, but I have mine on R, because it's just more convenient. Ghost writing book, basically, put it in a room with the ghost. If it writes in it, that's evidence. You just chuck it in there. That's all you do with it. And, oh, that is the UV light. It's basically just a black light, and you look around for fingerprints and such if the ghost touches an object like a door, window, stuff like that. And if it touches and leaves a fingerprint, that is also a piece of evidence. Now, there is a journal. The journal will pretty much give you your descriptions for different ghosts and just introductory info. You'll start with, first starts with spirits, and it'll show their strengths, weaknesses, and the evidence. You just need 3 pieces of evidence. If you find those 3, you will know exactly what ghost you're dealing with, and they will tell you, each page will tell you the ghost's strengths and weaknesses. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different type of ghosts, and of course more will be added in the future. I'll do an extremely quick summary of every ghost. I more or less know them like the back of my hand. Spirit is basically sometimes hard to detect because it's a bit of a random ghost. It can take on traits of other ghosts, so they can be a little annoying to kind of get with secondary evidence. But they can either be kind of weak, or they can be unusually powerful, based on what traits they take on. Wraiths, they don't really... You can't pick up, like, footprints from them, and they can go through walls, and they can see through doors. So you gotta hide in spots away from doors during hunts, or you can outrun them if you have enough room. Phantoms, they're good at draining your sanity faster if you look at them. They will... Ghosts can randomly pop up and scare the shit out of you. Happened to me multiple times, still does here and there. But taking photos of them basically make them disappear, which instantly tells you if it's that. Poltergeists love to move objects. They're one of the only ghosts that can move like 2 objects at the same time. And when it moves stuff and you don't see what it moves, it tends to drain your sanity. Banshee are mainly a multiplayer ghost, but they're still pretty deadly even in solo. because they stalk you for a bit, and when they start hunting, they usually know where you're at. Not always, you can still lose banshees, but they tend to know where you're at, and they can usually find you. I think banshees are some of the most deadly ghosts on smaller maps. They are very, very dangerous. And terror. Ugh. Jinns. Jinns are fairly dangerous ghosts as well. They run on a fuse box, or power box that every map has. If you turn that power box off, it gets rid of power, which basically makes them faster when the power box is on. Specifically, when you're further away from it, it'll start traveling faster, so these ghosts can catch up to you and kill you. I've been killed by Jinns multiple times. Mares, they love the dark, especially if the room that they're currently in is dark. If their room is dark, they have a higher chance of hunting when you're at higher sanity, so they can potentially hunt early. Revenants, in my opinion, are probably one of the absolute most dangerous ghosts in this game. They just travel fast, unanimously fast, and the only counter is if they start a hunt and you're near or by its room, there's a decent chance you might die. Because the only weakness to a Rev is to instantly find a place and hide, because that makes them the move slow. So hiding is literally Revenant's only weakness, and because they travel fast, just you can already kind of pinpoint why they're dangerous. I've been killed by many Revenants. Shades. Shades are a little annoying sometimes, but they have some weird mechanics. Shades are annoying because in multiplayer with multiple people, they tend, not always, but tend to be a bit more shy and show a little bit less activity. But apparently sometimes in solo, since it's just by yourself, since they're a bit of a shy ghost, they tend to be a bit more active. But also the ghosts in this game in general it's like every ghost, even if it's the same type of ghost, tend to have their own personality. Like I've seen, like for example, one map where I had a shy poltergeist, and then the next map, a poltergeist again, but insanely active. Like they take on weird personality traits, which is kind of another thing I like about this game, is you never exactly know what you're going to get into. Demons. Demons, you would think automatically are like the most dangerous ghosts just based off the name. Now, they are a decent threat, I will admit. They can hunt very early. Like 60, 70% sanity, they can start really hunting, and they tend to chain hunt. Usually you get, I believe it's 20 or 30, I think it's 30 seconds roughly. After a hunt ends, before another hunt can begin, and demons tend to just chain hunt back and forth. And Ure passively just drains your sanity just faster. Sometimes it can be a little hard to tell because different maps feel like they drain your sanity at different levels, so sometimes I have a hard time figuring out if it's a Ure or not off just sanity drain alone, but I've made a few good guesses on them in the past. That's their main deal. And Oni. Basically, they tend to be, when more people are grouped in its room, they tend to be a bit more active. Now, these get confused, at least for me, for Jinns sometimes, because Jinns are territorial and tend to be active when you're in their room as well, if they feel threatened. But because they're active in general, they tend to be easy to find, just their room in general. And the last thing I forgot to mention, a specific thing with Banshees, I was talking about that stalking and such, is apparently that is the only ghost in the game that can hunt at any sanity level, including just instantly at 100. I've not seen it yet, but I've heard of it. Now, everything else is just a little description of all the tools and such. These are, whenever you take a photo, these will appear here, and they'll have words above them if you successfully took a good photo. If there's no words, then the photo did not count, and the photos are a bit buggy sometimes, not gonna lie. And this is your main page you're going to be on, the evidence. This is where you can kind of click through on if you find a piece of evidence. Like, when you have no evidence, it just shows every ghost type down here. But when you put one piece in, then it narrows it down to the ghosts that only can do freezing temperatures, which I have my thing on Celsius, might I add. So I need for it to be basically like 0 Celsius to count as freezing. But there's also a little mechanic with this game where if it's not a freezing ghost, it will never go below 3 Celsius. But if you ever see anything below 3 Celsius, so 2 point anything, it's automatically a freezing ghost. Will always be one. But pretty much once you get a piece of evidence and it narrows it down, get 2 pieces in, it narrows it down even further, and then you just gotta, then you'll know what to look for the last one just by either using the pages or just kind of plugging stuff in, and you could just kind of figure out if it's something that doesn't exist, nothing will happen when you click on ghost type. But that's a long enough kind of tutorial thing. I'm kind of wasting time, so let's go. I knew this one was going to be a little slow in the beginning because I just wanted to give a quick description, kind of like a mini tutorial of the game. If I do some more videos on this, I'm not going to be doing the tutorial anymore. Just be doing maps, professional, let's go. Alright. Now it'll be a little hard to explain things that's going on, but I tend to turn on lights in places I go. I tend to go into the attic in Bleastale. Bleastale is an attic. If you get a ghost in the attic, it is one of the most bloody cursed things imaginable. I tend to just quickly look at the doors. Now, for the temperatures, I tend to look for a 12. The, like, highest temperature for a room to be normal is usually 13 Celsius, but if you get a 12, you found the ghost. It's just automatic you found it. Kind of like the same rule with the whole freezing temperatures. If it's a 2, it's freezing temperatures automatically. Same thing with finding the ghosts, because every ghost in the game does lower temperatures, but only certain ghosts actually have freezing temperatures. And usually you have to point the thermometer at the floor. Well, fuse boxes in the attic. That's not the greatest spawn, not gonna lie. Fuse box can also spawn in random locations. Like, there's a lot of, like, all the maps are the same exact map, but certain parts will change, such as ghost position, where the fuse box would be. There's also secondary stuff, like a Ouija board that can sometimes spawn, which, as far as I'm aware, is about a 30% chance of it spawning. Actually, let me turn this light off. If you have too many lights on in certain maps, it will break the fuse box, and usually you don't want that in most cases. And pretty much the Ouija board's one of them, which can help pinpoint the ghosts. It is an effective way to drain your sanity, because every time you use the Ouija board, if it's not a demon, it will drain. That's a freezing ghost. What? It's a living room ghost. Okay, well, we don't need that anymore. And it's walking. Let's make a footprint. It knocked on the window. Okay, well, we dropped a book in there. I didn't even turn the light on in that room. Okay, so based off that, now, I don't think it's a djinn. Now, djinns, earlier I was talking about, is they are a type of ghost that likes having power. Ooh, actually, let me look at this super quick. 1, 2. Okay, I learned a trick recently. I already know this is an EMF 5 ghost. I'm going to still take the EMF just to show. But there's a little thing with the activity bar that I learned very recently from a streamer. His name is Insum. I watch him. Very, very good at this game. Insanely good. And a good entertainer, too. Really love his content. He's taught me a lot just from watching his videos. But the trick is basically like... I'm not even going to go into detail right now. I'll just show how the EMF works. I do know it's an EMF 5 ghost. But I will go in there just so I can prove it. Oop, let me not turn that off. I'm over here bringing in big boy straps for my first video. Alright, let's turn that sucker on. And actually, it did. I'm sorry. Well, definitely not a djinn. It just broke the fuse box. Ghosts can break fuse box. This isn't me. Ooh. Oh, got EMF. Okay, let me get the fuck out this house for a millisecond. Break that breaker sent a chill down my spine. Okay, so was EMF 5? Basically, just there's a way to read the activity meter to tell if it's an EMF 5 ghost. I won't go into super detail. Alright, so we already have freezing temps, and you did see my breath in there too. Like, even though I already knew it was freezing because of the thermometer, if you don't have a thermometer on you and you can see your breath, that's automatically freezing temperatures. So, we already have 2 of the 3. Ooh, not a mare. I was thinking mare because of the fuse box, fairly early fuse box, but any ghosts can break the fuse box. I've heard, except djinns, but I've heard djinns can allegedly break it once in a blue moon, but very rarely. I don't think I've had a djinn that has broke the fuse box yet, so I cannot confirm that. Phantom Banshee. Phantom I know would disappear with the camera. What is Banshee? I forget. What do you need? Spirit box? Nope. Fingerprints is Banshee. I didn't see a fingerprint. It knocked on the window. So this might be a phantom. Let me put that back up. Okay. Based on I didn't see a fingerprint on the window, because you can find those on window, and it definitely knocked on it. I heard it as clear as day. I am thinking this is a phantom based off that. I'll keep the UV on me. I dropped the thermometer because I looked in it. So let's turn this camera on. Put it on the tripod, which you have to bring separately. And when you have cameras active, you can click on this mouse in here, and you'll see your camera that you have up. Albeit because night vision is on right now, I can't see shit. But if you just tap on the keyboard, it turns night vision off. But to actually see the ghost orbs itself, you need to have night vision on. So let's grab this and put it in there, and see if we can find orbs. I should have probably checked my sanity, honestly. I touched that door. I'll check that. Because I did not touch that door at all. And it played the piano. And it's walking. The footsteps. Sometimes those things be scaring me. Especially in solo. Solo, honestly, is like the scary shit. When I play with people, I just be rushing heads first. Just into every situation. With solo, I'm a tad bit more cautious because I'm putting all my items on the line. Just try to flip the light switch. This has definitely got to be a phantom. So many things it's touched, but not a single fingerprint. I will actually be shocked if this is not a phantom. So, we're going to go back. You got to obviously have the lights off because of night vision. And your sanity does drain really fast when you're in the dark. I think it might drain very, very slow in the light, but I cannot confirm that. So, let's take a look at this. Yep. Orb right there, clear as day. So, we have our third piece of evidence. Now, we now know for sure it is a phantom. Now, if we go over, just to give us a little better description of phantom, is looking at a phantom will decrease your sanity. I haven't seen it at all. I don't know if its effect takes place while it's invisible, because a ghost is always kind of there, but invisible, and it can kind of choose to manifest itself when it wants, usually affected more by if you have lower sanity, or if you tend to taunt it. Now, it could hear me talking in there, but there's also a button you can use to actually, like, talk in-game. And I know for sure you have to use that to make the spirit box work if you're trying to figure out if a ghost can respond back to you using the spirit box. I tend to just use it in general whenever I want to talk to the ghost, whether I'm using a spirit box or not. Same with the Ouija board, because you can, if you find the Ouija board, you can ask the Ouija board questions. Now, taking a photo, make it to the spirit. So, let's look at the objectives. We already got the EMF one, so, you know, easy peasy. Don't even need this anymore. Now, we need a motion sensor to detect. I'm going to try to go for every objective every time I play as much as possible. There's a select few that are so difficult that it's not even worth going for, but these are all definitely possible. Let's go for the motion sensor. I only brought one because it's a smaller map. Usually bigger maps I tend to bring more. If anything, I probably should have brought two. Usually a little easier with two, but That's just me being stingy with my money in case I just magically die. Now, it did knock on the window, and it did touch that, so I'm going to place this right here. Boop. And now we wait for that to happen. Now, the last objective was prevent a hunter with a crucifix. Now, this one's going to be a little time-consuming. So, I'm probably going to cut out some of the time for this. But, more or less, I just got to stand in there and just wait for my sanity to drop to actually initiate a hunt. Usually for most ghosts, excluding like Banshee, Mare, and Demons, usually you have to wait till you're anywhere between 40 to 50% sanity usually around those. It's usually, I think 40 is like the rough, like kind of agreed on number, as far as I'm aware. So, for hunts to really start getting initiated, let's just toss those there. But I just gotta wait and get taunt the fucking ghost. That's literally all it is. So I'm gonna go back real quick to also get a camera and see if we can taunt this ghost. I forgot its name already. I think it was like Donna something. So let's care about these. See if we can get a picture. Sandy's still decent. Donna Jones. Okay. So we'll see if we can taunt it. Get some photos. Can't get pictures of fingerprints. You can take pictures of fingerprints for money, but unfortunately it's not a fingerprint ghost. I do have an idea for money. Nah, I ain't gonna do that right now. You could do like footprints and like gather footprints using like salt in the UV light and see where the ghost is walking and such, but I ain't gonna worry about that right now. My EMF is going off though. If it's EMF5, apparently I think you can take a picture of that for an interaction. But we just need to piss off, so. Donna Jones. And I'm also using the in-game mic when I try to actually talk to the ghost. Donna Jones, show yourself. Donna Jones. Where are you? Show yourself. And usually saying its name really tends to piss him off. Can potentially initiate hunts if you're in the appropriate range. Alright, so it's like over roughly right here. Donna Jones, show yourself. Donna Jones. Donna Jones! You know, I should probably hit the fuse box. It's such a long walk. And as you can notice, this right here, I'm holding shift down. This is normal walking. This is shift walking. Your movement speed is not very fast in this game. Which I a lot of people kind of complain about it. I actually kind of like it in a way. Because you could still, like, outrun, quote unquote, a lot of ghosts. Not every ghost, you know? But I don't know, I'd like the movement speed. I don't know why. Wait, is that the... Nope, that is not the Ouija board. I thought it was a Ouija board for a second. I've heard the Ouija board only has like a 30% chance of spawning, so it's like... eh. If you get it, cool. If you don't, oh well. I never found the bone. I was explaining the bone. You can, if you find that, you can take a picture of it and pick it up for extra money. And I didn't see it anywhere upstairs, so I'll check downstairs here for the bone. See if we can find it. Hear that sucker walking. Check the kitchen. I think I'm still in probably safe sanity ranges, most likely. Also, this game is like insanely dark. Like, without the flashlight, you can't see shit. It's moving stuff. I heard that. No bone. No bathroom bone. And you can actually interact with a lot more objects than you think. Like, a lot of objects in this house, like beer cans, teddy bears, stuff like that. No bone. Even that saw, you could just pick them up for shits and giggles. Oh, it's tossing shit. Did I not find the bone? I probably, like, looked over it and just completely didn't see it. What did you do? 3. Both crucifixes are still here. Crucifixes tend to have, I believe it's 2 charges on them. And if one of your crucifixes magically disappears, and you know you placed it somewhere, that crucifix used both its charges and prevented 2 hunts. Ooh. Okay. Double checking here. Sometimes you can find these, yeah, these voodoo doll things. For some reason, these things are a bloody treat. Let me grab an empty it. These things are the glitchiest item. Because they take a picture and you get interaction for them. But also when you throw them... Oh, please don't tell me they fixed it. No, come on. No, please. Okay, well they used to glitch the hell out and just do whatever the hell they wanted. Ayy. Still counts as interaction. Is that a 5? That's a 4. It's touching doors. I think they fixed it. Oh, they fixed the voodoo doll. I'm actually so disappointed. This thing would glitch out to hell, and it was the funniest garbage in the world, and I am so disappointed. I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm so sorry. Actually a lightweight pissed. Donna Jones, show yourself. I'm not happy. Let me turn off this light. Donna Jones. Donna Jones. Where are you? Show yourself. Donna Jones. Donna Jones. Baby girl. Where you at? hear your ass. Okay, that's just the couch. Sometimes they can like spawn as like haze stuff, and I thought that was haze for a second. I was like, wait, what? Donna Jones, where are you? Is that the piano? Hey, yep. Okay, she's at the piano. I'm gonna check my sanity. So what is that? Oh, okay, that's just the foliage. I thought that was like a light. Though I'm kind of curious about. What? Is my light flashing? Oh no, she's in there, she's in there. That's so high activity. No, don't tell me I missed her. Donna Jones? I'm sorry. I'm gonna check my sanity. I made a chill go down my spine. See, the game still creeps me out. Shit like that. That was not okay. I have successfully prevented a hunt. Okay, apparently she tried to hunt me, and I'm probably around 50% sanity. She spawned for a millisecond, scared the garbage out of my left ear. I'll try for a moment to get the photo. I took a sanity pill, so I'd doubtfully can hunt me. I could use a smudge stick too to prevent it further, but I'm not going to worry about that. They're both still here, so I only used one charge. Alright, Donna Jones, where are you? I hear her. Donna Jones, show yourself. Show yourself. Donna Jones. Are you here? Are you with us? Did you move that cup? Donna Jones. She moved something. Both crucifixes still here. Donna Jones, where are you? And the crucifixes have roughly a 3-meter like radius, so I'm guessing like some radius, something like that. I don't know. That's probably inaccurate as hell. So it's not a massive radius. So having the max you can have is 2 crucifixes. Okay, madam. Donna Jones, show yourself. Where are you? Did she flip this cup upside down? What a beast. Donna Jones, come on. I'm giving you 15 more seconds. If you do not show yourself, I am leaving. Okay, I heard you knock on that window. But show yourself. Donna Jones. Still see both crucifixes. What the fuck? Where's that phone even, actually? Honey? Oh, I'm so blind. Holy crap. Donna Jones. Show yourself. Last call. Alright, I'm leaving. Bye. Bye. Bye, Donna Jones. She really wants me to pick up that fucking phone. Shits and giggles. Alright, I'll touch your phone. I'm gonna regret this, I know. Boop. There. I touched it. Now what? Show yourself. Wow. Okay, well. She spawned that one time for a millisecond, but it was so quick that I didn't even see her. Well, unfortunately, no spawn on Donna Jones, and I personally don't feel like sticking around for a hunt. But at least I got us, some interaction photos. Taunting her, unfortunately, didn't piss her off enough. But, I mean, we found out what the ghost was, so once you have it marked in your book, you basically just press a button to close up the truck, and you are done. Alright, and the end screen just showing if you completed your objectives. Of course, since this is professional, it has like a ×3 multiplier for the photos you've taken. And I have zero idea what the hell insurance it does. And honestly, I have no idea how to even earn insurance money. I don't know what causes it. I've yet to figure it out. And also, as long as you survive a hunt, any items you bring, you will bring back with you, even if you just toss them around the house all willy-nilly. Even sandy pills, which you eat, you keep them. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. And boom, Phantom, get your experience. Like I said, after level 15, it doesn't mean anything. And every level is 100 experience currently. And that is a quick round of Phasmophobia. Well, maybe not super quick, but nonetheless. Try and do some more of these. Hopefully get some more interesting rounds. I've had some very chaotic rounds. Very, very chaotic. But I haven't done a lot of solo. And probably when I get a little bit more comfortable with solo, I might start doing a few challenge runs. I have seen some challenge runs done by Insum, the guy I was talking about earlier. So I might attempt some of those maybe in the future, but well, we'll see. Alright, but thanks for watching, everyone. See y'all in the next video.